So to get to know you, one of the things I think the most obvious thing, right, is your name. Okay, so so can you run us through your name? Like, where did you get it from? Why'd you go with Timthetatman? Why not just Tim?
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you, Paul, for
Yeah.
that intro and for the question. So I would say Timthetatman, my name.
Very
So
good.
my name is Tim. I was born with that, right? So I've been Tim for like my whole life. And then
This is getting good. Yeah.
And then when I was 18, I got tattooed. And
Can you explain the tattoo to us? Because I think it's interesting. I think it's important.
yeah,
Which one was first? That was the first one.
The crown of thorns are on my right arm. That was my first tattoo. And armbands were obviously big, you know, mid to late 2000s. And so I was like, you know what? Statement of my faith, and I can get an armband. Let's do it. And I did no research. My dad actually found the tattoo artist, and so we went together, and I got it with my father, the same exact tattoo. And it's mine's on my right arm. My dad did his on his left arm. So that was like the first one we ever decided to do. And looking back, I definitely should have done more research. And I don't regret the tattoo, but it's like compared to the other work that I did, it was definitely not up to par with what the other artists have done. And no offense to that guy. I'm sure he's still, you know, doing great. But I mean, so PJ, when he first said I had it, and he said it looked like a Mozilla Firefox.
No, I just like it.
He said it looked like Mozilla Firefox logo. So around my arm. But yeah, so I did that. But I had that tattoo, and I was like, okay, so I kind of like tattoos. Then I decided I'm going to do my right arm, and I did my whole right arm. So when I went to college, and when I was in college, one of my professors, I had my right arm done. That's it. And one of my professors goes, it was roll call for the first day. And so they're going through all the names like John, Karen, blah, blah, blah. And then they get to me, Tim, and I raise my hand, my tattooed arm, right? I raise my tattooed arm naturally.
Got showed off, dude. You'd like to get it, you know?
And he goes, Timthetatman. Timthetatman. And I was like, that's a pretty catchy name. And I decided in that moment, I was like, at this point, I'd never done YouTube or anything, but I decided in that moment, I was like, if I ever try and do YouTube or anything, I think I watched Twitch at that time, or it would have been Justin TV at that time. I think I watched Justin TV at that time. And I was like, if I ever try that, I'm going to be Timthetatman. And so that's kind of the origin story of my name. My professor in college, he called me it all semester, by the way. It wasn't just like a one-time thing, like all semester. Anytime I saw him at school, he always called me Timthetatman. So
it's like a mouthful.
What was his name? What was the professor's name?
Dude, I honest to God can't remember. He was one of my favorite professors too, so I kind of feel like an a-hole for it.
Clearly, yeah.
His name is John. John, thank you, John.
John. I really can't remember his name, and that's sad, but
imagine that guy seeing.
What did he teach?
Like, I made him.
He teached he was psychology. I think he was a psychology teacher. That's why he was super cool. Like he was like really he teached. Yeah, he teached, by the way. He was he was really
I wasn't gonna say anything.
He was younger. he was like a younger guy, kind of hip, you know?
Yeah.
And
with it.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. And so, but I really did like him, but I can't remember his name. Sorry, Professor, if you're watching this. I called him Professor.
Pretty strong, profound impact there.
What if he's like a 70-month sub and you're just like,
he's been subbed this whole time? Yeah, it's like I came up. He's probably sitting there like sipping whiskey, thinking about how he probably should have told me if I ever used that I owed him money
to copyright.
I copyrighted it. Yeah,
you owe that guy a lot.
Yeah, probably. I probably wouldn't have came up with Timthetatman, but he told me that he thought of it like obviously Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Sure.
So like he said that was what he thought of, like Tim the Toolman and Timthetatman. So
yeah.
For all you Zoomers, that was a sitcom on the TV.
Yeah, that was Home Improvement.
Tim Allen. Home Improvement.
I love Tim Allen. I do.
Yeah.
I'm a Tim Allen fan.
You didn't you name a house in Retail Row after Wilson?
I did. Wilson
from that show.
Because Wilson was Tim Allen's neighbor.
That's called Wilson?
Was the neighbor.
That's why I called it Wilson, because I was landing
the fence around it.
I would land. No, I called it like neighbor because I would land next to Lupo.
Okay.
Because Lupo would land at that other house on the right, and so I would say I'm landing Wilson, which is why I called it. That's why I called it Wilson in retail, because
he always
Lupo's
says, "Hey neighbor" when he sees him.
That's
It all comes together.
Because I thought everyone knew that. To be honest, that's why I called it Wilson.
Layered.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was Wilson, but I knew that's what it's from. You didn't know that? That's great. Yeah, that's where it came from, man.
That's in depth.
And boomers
that was
smart.
meta. Holy crap! Wow.
Thank you. I thought so too.
It's incredible. So Timthetatman is what you went with this whole time. Because honestly, I remember this little history. You're probably gonna get. Let's just preface this. You're gonna get a lot of like little backstories, little bits of Tim and my relationship because we've known each other for a while. I always was very jealous of your ability to like name yourself. Like you had like Tim is just it's one syllable,
pretty basic
very
name, easy
to rhyme things with.
Yeah.
Like like intimidate was one of your like warriors or something on
intimidate.
Like that's just like this. I was just so upset, and I was like Paul the Hunter.
Yeah, I guess I can throw mine in a lot of names. You're right, because Paul can't really fit. What's a name with like Paul in it?
Yeah, there isn't. That's why my name's
Intimidate the Warrior. That was a good name for a warrior too.
That was a great name for a warrior. So anyway, side note. That's it's amazing. It's amazing. Timthetatman.
Pauline. Appalling. There's yours. Appalling.
Yep. Thanks, chat. Thank you, Twitch chat.
Apocalypse. Okay, I'll stop.
All right. Terrible. Paulding.
But
nope.
Paul Blart.
Paul Bearer. No, dang it. You're right. It sucks. Actually, 4 millionaires in Paul. There we go. Crushed it.
Yeah, it's a short name.
You're welcome.
Love that.
You're welcome.